At this time, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the CEO of Equity Insurance, Dr. Elton Frederick Afari. A big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this launch of the GJA Awards for this year is live on the Joy News channel, on GTV, the station of the nation, and also on Atinka Television. As we go along, I'll be announcing to you some more media outlets where we're having a live stream of this event from the Alisa Hotel here in Accra. And now it gives me great pleasure to bring here to the stage a big supporter of the work of the Ghana Journalists Association in various chapters of its recent story over the years. In terms of business and in terms of job creation, he has led the way and is a big template that many others who are blazing that trail can follow. I say this because when you venture into the tech industry here in Ghana, he is a giant, considering that he, together with his strong team within the group, have created many concepts that are creating loads and loads of jobs, and also, more importantly, giving solutions to many industries here in this country. He has been named on various platforms, including the EMY Africa Awards, as its Man of the Year of the KGL Group.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the honor of the invitation. And I would like to commend the president of GJA and the whole team. I think I made a comment that relationships are so important. I first met him a few years back, and I was a bit richer when I met him. He emptied the pockets of KGL Group for GJA. So I was asking him that what is GJA going to do when he leaves the scene? And he said that he was going to build, he was going to get GJA to get in touch and build the relationships. Leaves the scene, it becomes very difficult to raise the funding. So I'm here to also an inauguration of the 29th Ghana Journalists Association Award. Corporate Ghana stands shoulder to shoulder with the media in shared purpose and deep respect. We recognize that a vibrant, independent press is the lifeblood of any thriving democracy, and its future must be safeguarded through unity, resilience, and forward-thinking collaboration. Distinguished guests, I call on the media to facilitate public-private partnerships. Governments on their own cannot drive transformation. Sadly, private enterprises that do are often treated as deliberation and implementation. Governments acting as ultimate gatekeepers often treat the private sector not as partners of mutual growth, but as necessary risks to be managed, or worse, adversaries to be constrained. The media will have to partner corporate Ghana to address a cancer that often stamps our progress. Of successful local champions is often suspicion. Successful local champions. We cannot build economies of scale, ladies and gentlemen, if we constantly cut down the tallest trees. We need an ecosystem Welcome, Honorable Minister. We need an ecosystem where a startup in Accra can realistically envision becoming a multi-billion-dollar entity that can stand the test of doing business anywhere in the world. Permit me to use this distinguished platform to comment on a recent publication by the Fourth Media Estate, headline, NLA hands $3 billion in prime business in exchange of peanuts. With utmost integrity, and would usually not comment on irresponsible and sensational journalism, except for the fact that we remain as corporate Ghana does, partners of the media in nation building. In the first year of our collaboration with the National Lottery Authority in 2019, the partnership began with a modest revenue base of less than 60 million cedis, with no profits earned by KGL. For KGL to have turned such humble beginnings into what is now a globally recognized Ghanaian enterprise is a testament to the investment strength, innovation, capacity, and about 60 billion to over 3 billion in 3 or 4 years is one of the most growing companies I've ever come across in my business life. And it didn't happen anywhere, but it happened in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, this remarkable progress did not happen overnight, nor was it the work of chance. It took vision, failing at some point, discipline, and years of unwavering commitment to best practices and good governance. Indeed, what we have built is not a matter of chance, but the result of relentless dedication to excellence and belief in Ghana's potential. At the KGL Group, we remain unfazed by sensational narratives designed to cast doubt on the achievements of indigenous enterprises. We understand that true success invites scrutiny, but let the scrutiny be grounded in truth, fairness, and harm, but to heal, not to sensationalize, but to illuminate and strengthen the fabric of our nation. If we continually destroy our founders and visionaries, how do we build the next global giants of Ghana, the next Dangotes of our generation? As a nation, we must nurture our own. Celebrate the visionaries and builders who invest, innovate, and create opportunities for our people. We must purposefully create Ghanaian business champions. These champions are not just wealthy individuals. They are economic shock absorbers. The investors in local R&D and the patient capital that foreign direct investment is not. And may I mention that they are also the sponsors of our national team, the GJA, and various social intervention policies. Honorable Minister, His Excellency, the KGL Group is here to stay. Committed to upscaling, innovating, and advancing the cause of Ghana and promoting in our mission to build a business legacy that is owned by Ghanaians, of one which will outlive visionaries like myself and generations yet unborn. We therefore invite the media to partner us in this commitment. Honorable Minister, His Excellency, distinguished guests, as we look ahead to the 29th GJA Awards, I wish to commend the association for its unwavering commitment to upholding professionalism in the media space. On behalf of corporate Ghana, I extend our heartfelt solidarity to the GJA. Let me assure you that KGL Group will continue to stand firmly with the GJA and the journalism and the media fraternity, supporting its effort to promote responsible journalism, upholding the highest ethical standards, and safeguarding the integrity of the media profession in Ghana. Thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana, bless the GJA and the media fraternity. Thank you very much.
Well, I heard some loud applause, some light applause on this side. Let's do it for him. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the key credentials of this fine gentleman is the fact that he is a product of Infantipim School, which is Ghana's oldest second cycle educational institution. Over there, the mantra is Jin Shekan, which when translated directly to English means plan ahead of time. I'd like to acknowledge at this time, since the GJA Awards is about celebration, the fact that the KGL Group has immersed itself in society and is backing so many initiatives with financial resources. KGL is a key partner in juvenile football development in this country, which probably has led to the recent finish of the national under-17 football team of a second place in the Waffle Zone B tournament. Shall we acknowledge that effort? Full to you, Mr. Alex Apaudade, Executive Chair of the KGL Group. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to at this time pay my respects to some senior journalists and senior members of the GJA who are here to support this launch. Mr. Ben Asoro is Ambassador Designate to the Vatican. Shall we do a big round of applause for him? And of course, immediately he received his credentials, would change it to His Excellency. Mr. George Sapon is the Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission. Shall we do a big round of applause? I would like to also salute the former editor of the Daily Graphic newspaper at the Graphic Communications Group, who's also a member of the National Media Commission. He's a seasoned media consultant, a senior member of the GJA, and has also played many varied roles with many different projects with the GJA over the years. Please help me pay my respects to Mr. Peter Agbeko. Dr. Charity Binka is the president of the Ghana chapter of the African Women Leaders Network. Shall we do a big round of applause? Dr. Srib. And also, Mr. A.C. Ohenim is a senior editor for the Adum brands at the Multimedia Group. Shall we do a big round of applause? Once again, we'd like to say a very big thank you to all media houses who are supporting this launch with their presence and with their respective platforms. We specifically like to say a very big thank you to GTV, the station of the nation, the Joy News channel at the Multimedia Group, and also Atinka Television. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to hand you over to the musical company of an achieved group who are drawing out one key aspect of our culture as a people. It is by no accident in 2019. With a big round of applause, shall we once again welcome Kwampa.
Thank you so much. All right. This is indigenous Ghanaian music and it's very interactive. At this juncture, we've been seated for a while. When I mention the name of your role, you be on your feet, you give us a dance, and you sit down. All right? So GJA, let's do this very quickly. All right. I want G, I want G to come and dance for me. I want G, I want G to come and
it is by no accident that you've received so many accolades and continue to wow all the audiences that you wow on a daily and weekly basis. Shall we acknowledge them with another round of applause? And of course, on a very light note, there is something about seating, but the seating area, specifically what they call the top table or the dignitaries area. Anytime you're at the stadium and there's a goal scored, they have a different reaction. Anytime there's music being played, they have what you call the Pentecostal dance. Please don't ask me how to do the Pentecostal dance. Your Excellency, Honorable Minister, distinguished, a fine mix of persons within us up to its definition. Today I look across here and I see quite a number of you, and for that we'll say we're eternally grateful. While we do acknowledgements of all of our friends in the fraternity and those who are also exploring in different areas, we'd like to pay our respects to ACP Grace Ansa Kofi, who is the head of public affairs of the Ghana Police Service. Shall we do a big round of applause? Our guest speaker, Mr. Alex Apaudade, asked a very important question earlier, and that is, what will happen to a lot of the work when this fine gentleman eventually wraps up his duty tour of the GJA as president? In terms of being fair, would have to be fair to him and give him his accolades and give him his flowers, because if not for anything at all, over the course of time serving this institution or this association, he has been a very, very strong voice. A strong voice advocating for key areas of our development that need to be amplified. And for that, would like to say a very, very big thank you to him. He's led the ideas orientation and the forward movement of the GJA over the last couple of years and has a lot of promise looking at the Elder Albert Kwabena Jomfor. Yes, he is a staunch member of the Pentecostal Church of Ghana. Shall we do another big round of applause for him?
If tomorrow you hear that my national chairman, the Church of Pentecost, has demoted me, it is Nathaniel. You want to expose it. Good afternoon, all of you. Please, are we here? Good afternoon once again. Honorable Minister Felix Ofosu-Kwakye, Minister in charge of Government Communications, and the keynote speaker of today's launch, Mr. Alex Apaudade, I call him chairman, who is the executive chairman of the KGA group, Kwekudia, managing director, Ashanti Green Initiative, Your Excellency, the Turkish ambassador to Ghana, my very good brother, and thank you for coming. I just sent you the invitation yesterday, and you said I'll make it. GJ is very grateful, His Excellency. We are so grateful to be here today. Members of the diplomatic corps, and I can see the U.S. Embassy every represented here. My own sister, who has just been introduced, ACP Greece, Elsa Akrofi. Let's see you, my dear, representing the Media Commission, present here, Senior Kobiasma, the Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission. I don't know where he is. I don't know if he's. Bola is the CEO of the EIB Group. Laurie is the CEO of the EIB Group. National executives of the GJA, heirs of the media present. Doc, I can see you. Thank you for coming. Colleague journalists, ladies and gentlemen, with profound humility and deep respect, I welcome you all on behalf of the 29th GJA Media Awards and the inauguration of the Awards Committee. Today, in fact, renewal of a sacred tradition of the Ghanaian media to shape thought, influence change, and safeguard the destiny of our beloved nation. Celebrating excellence, expanding our horizon of journalistic excellence in Ghana. A testament of the courage, sacrifice, and commitment of journalists who serve as the watchdogs and educators of our democracy. Over the years, these awards have honored not just individuals, but a profession through investigative reports, documentaries, and editorials of ordinary citizens. This noble tradition continues, not merely as a ceremony of recognition, but as a reaffirmation of our mission as journalists, to serve the interests of the public with truth and integrity, to uphold ethics, even when it is difficult milestone. Distinguished guests, this year's edition of the GJA Media Awards is both significant and historic. For the first time in our history, our flagship national event will be hosted outside Atuo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Yene, at the Menchia Palace in Kumasi. We can do better, we can do better. So I take it once again, for the first time, His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Yene at the Menchia Palace in Kumasi on Saturday, November 8, 2025. Oh, let's give it up, let's give it up. There are more surprises in there. Of Ghanaian journalism is a moment of profound honor, a convergence of tradition, wisdom, and professionalism. The Asante Yene embodies peace, justice, and leadership, values that lie at the very heart of responsible journalism. In His Majesty's stewardship of Asanteman and his unwavering devotion to Ghana's unity and development, we find inspiration to tell stories that build bridges, shine light where there is darkness, and give voice to the voiceless with fairness and truth. A royal and national celebration. The decision to host the awards in Kumasi is not merely a change of venue. It is a symbolic statement of inclusivity. It signifies the GJA's commitment to making our association truly national, one that is felt, seen, and celebrated in every region of Ghana. We are deeply honored that Asante Yene has graciously agreed to be the patron of this year's event and also for the association. His presence will elevate this year's event to a level of prestige befitting our noble profession. We extend a grand gathering of nearly 1,000 guests, including ministers of state, diplomats, corporate leaders, journalists, and civil society representatives. It will be a convergence of royalty, excellence, and purpose, where Ghana's finest storytellers will be celebrated under the royal canopy of Menchia. Program, or should I say proposed program lineup. This is our, and we have tagged it the Kumasi experience. The Kumasi experience. Our awards weekend on Friday in Kumasi from 6:30 p.m. There, we may summon emergency general assembly meeting, EGM, that's emergency general meeting during this reception period to discuss some key and pertinent issues bordering the association during this time. On Saturday, November 8, 2025, there's going to be health work in the morning. And the health work promises to be very surprising as we have key individuals to lead this health work. And that, I'll keep that in the fridge for now. We will unveil it before the D-Day. But there's health work in the morning. On the same day, November 8, 2025, at 4 p.m., we hold the 29th GJA Media Award. In the evening, after the awards, at 7 p.m., the king will host us to a dinner ball, which is what we call the dinner reception after the awards at 7 p.m. So this is how the program, the activities will be like: reporting on the Friday and leave on Sunday, 9th of November. To encourage wide participation, I'm pleased to announce that the GJA will provide accommodation and logistics for journalists attending the awards that very weekend. So we are looking forward to transport over 500 journalists from Accra and outside Kumasi to Kumasi. And we are making arrangement to host all the journalists who will be coming from outside Kumasi. We host them. It means that your hotel accommodation is going to be taken care of. That is an experience, a celebration of our craft, our unity, and our contribution to Ghana's democracy. The team was carefully chosen to meet the expectation of the good people of this country, as well as the needs of the media. And the theme for this year's event is safeguarding Ghana's future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against galamsey. Reflect the present, safeguarding Ghana's future, the role of the media in promoting peace, security, and the fight against galamsey. And this reflects the present realities of our time. Ghana's the menace of illegal mining continues to ravage our lands and poison rivers, threatening not only our natural heritage, but the cornerstones of our national stability are tested daily by the forces of division, extremism, and disinformation. It is within this context that the media must rise, firm, fearless, and fair, as custodians of truth and conscience. We must document the destruction of our environment not merely as news, but as a national emergency. Hold those in authority accountable, yet remain partners in national or in nation building. This theme challenges us to move beyond headlines to impact, to ensure that every word we publish and every image we broadcast contributes to peace, justice, and environmental sustainability. Inauguration of the Awards Committee. The credibility of the GJA Media Awards rests on the integrity and journalism of its awards committee. I am therefore pleased to inaugurate a distinguished team of media professionals, chaired by our very own veteran Gabriel Bosompem, former member of the National Media Commission and former production manager of TV3. Other members include Mr. Kingsley Obenchere, 2012 GJA PAV and Star Journalist of the Year, Senior Manager GBC. Let's give it to him. Madam or Miss Nanaya Kunedu, presenter, Peace FM, and a senior member of the association. News, GBC, who is not here. Miss Agnes Boydo of this shin. Thank you. Mr. David Ando, President, Ghana Photojournalist Network and Photojournalist Multimedia Group. Alhaji Salifu Abdul Rahman, editor, Ghanaian Times, News Times Corporation. Honorable A+, I hope you are not leaving us. We need you here, don't run. Group Limited. Mr. George Wilson Kenser, Executive Secretary, Primpack. This formidable team represents the breadth and depth of Ghana's media landscape. Honorable Minister, the GJA Executive has full confidence in their competence and fairness, including the GJA PAV and Star Journalist of the Year, the Best Female Journalist of the Year. We've also tasked them to make recommendation for special award where necessary. So they are not limited. Acknowledgement of sponsors and partners. Before I conclude, Honorable Minister, let me express this great tradition. The GJA continues to move from grace to grace due to the unwavering support of some or key partners. Our special thanks, first and foremost, go to KGL Group of Companies. Whatever we are seeing here today, whatever we are witnessing here today, it is the support and help of KGL Group of Companies. And permit me to also acknowledge Alisa Hotels, who also make it possible for us to hold this launch at this very hall. So if the general manager of Alisa Hotel is here, we are grateful. Olila, Honorable Olila, we are very grateful to you and your team, Mr. Olila, and also the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Kwame Bamfo. We are so grateful. As we journey to Menchia for the grand celebration, we look forward to the continued support and partnership of corporate Ghana. I encourage all stakeholders, public and private, to come on board and help make the 29th GJA Media Awards a monumental success. In conclusion, Honorable Minister, a call to excellence. A call to excellence. Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we launch the 29th GJA Media Awards today, let us be reminded that the story of Ghana cannot be written without the voices of our journalists, and that our future as a nation depends on the strength, integrity, and patriotism of our media. Let the royal blessings of His Majesty Otumfuo Osei II inspire us to elevate our craft. Let this year's award rekindle in us the fire of purpose, pride, and professionalism. And let us, in our various capacities, work together to safeguard Ghana's peace, protect our excellent environment, and secure a future. And I take it once again, let us, in our various capacities, work together to safeguard Ghana's peace, protect our environment, and secure our future. Long live the Ghana Journalists Association. Long live His Majesty Otumfuo Osei II. Long live Ghana. Thank you, and God bless us all.
We're grateful to Mr. Albert Kwabna Jomfo, President of the Ghana Journalists Association, and that tells you that all roads lead to the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom, the Garden City, Kumasi, for the next edition of the awards. Eid Yakub. Let's do a big round of applause for him. Apostle Isaac Nate Chate is the founding pastor of the Empowerment City Chapel. Shall we do a big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen? Years ago, when private media was looking forward to picking up the steps and infiltrating the space, the national broadcaster was very present. And the standard for morning shows was the breakfast show on the Director General of GBC, who's also here with us, a long-time supporter, if I may put it that way, of the GJA and every other thing that the GJA has done over the years. Prof, we're very grateful to you. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we do a big round of applause for Prof. Alassane? Professor Amin Alassane is the Director General of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. So I was making mention of the breakfast show, and you can talk about Mr. Odati Lamte. Shall we do a big round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen? Still looking very handsome like back in the day. And of course, Mr. Kafui Day of recent years, now he's redirecting his focus of every single journalist, especially those whose faces are hidden in print and in the background in aspects of electronic media. We're grateful to all of you for blazing the torch that hard. And now at this time, it gives me great pleasure to bring here to the stage our guest of honor, who's an excellent communicator, a politician, and the representative of the people of the Abra Asebu Kwaman Kese constituency, also serving government as Minister of State in charge of government communications. The Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofusu, our guest of honor.
Thank you very much, members of the GJA, distinguished invited guests, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you this afternoon to be part of this momentous occasion. Let me begin by bringing you felicitations and best wishes from His Excellency President of this association, perhaps in terms of his relations with the Ghana Journalists Association. Ensure that your rights and freedoms are not abused. He sends his greetings and has expressed his desire to be part of this year's awards, especially as you have introduced some innovation of diversifying the venues where you have been hosting this event. For many years, it has been held in Accra, and that has appeared to underrepresent the interests of your members who live outside of Accra. So this year, and government will be present in our, to borrow Papa Ndi's balance, bulk majority. We intend to do whatever we can to make this year's celebration a success. Let me also congratulate you for holding the fort and sustaining this event, which has become the most sought after within the journalistic fraternity. It is the one event that all journalists look up to. It is the one event where excellence in journalistic practice is recognized and celebrated. And for that reason, it spurs on journalists within Ghana to give up their best so that they may also receive such recognition. Now, this year's event will be held against the backdrop of an evolving media landscape. In the past, journalism was practiced in traditional ways. Lately, however, the advent of social media and further developments like AI has thrown some challenge to the traditional ways of doing things. And that has made it necessary for its positioning itself to rope in members of the media who adopt these new modes of practice. As I walked in here, I saw that a group of gentlemen and young women approached my vehicle and started filming me as I stepped out of the vehicle. Sometimes they even eavesdrop on private conversations, and before long, you find that words that are being whispered find their way onto social media. Sometimes we may view them as a nuisance, but they are an important part of information dissemination these days. It is the case that times have changed, And so we also need to change the way that we approach these matters. In the past, you needed to go through strict and rigorous training over many years and then be tested with years of practice. You are able to disseminate information in ways that even traditional means are unable to do so. Because of that, the audience that usually receives the work that journalists do have also evolved and are no longer inclined to receive news from traditional sources. Today, a tweet, or they call it a post these days, on X or on Facebook is more likely to go further than what is broadcast on television and radio. So this has introduced enormous challenges in the way that journalism is done. And even as you plan to sell it through this unconventional approach within the journalistic fraternity, so that they may also be accepting the work that you do. In the next few years, it has become obvious that many forms of traditional media will no longer be viable, and that it is new media that will be the order of the day. So even as we plan these awards, we must, so that times do not bypass us and we find ourselves wanting. On the part of government, we are working hard to ensure that the same levels of regulation which permit journalistic practice and which do not infringe on the frontiers of journalistic practice is brought to bear on new media, so that the activities of operators within new media will be carried out within the boundaries of the law, so that it does not become a danger to society as opposed to being an enabling platform that we can use to disseminate information in a manner that can be well received. In recent times, we've had the challenge of persons abusing what should be a unique platform for interests that are not in the lives of others. Some perceive the supposed anonymity that social media offers to be a pretext to engage in antisocial behavior that can endanger our collective security. Government has had to act swiftly in some instances to curb some spillovers that could prove problematic and injurious to our collective security. Let me assure you that government does not intend to curb freedoms. President Mahama, as you know him, is one person who supports the expression of free speech. He is exceptionally tolerant and is open to criticism. But he, as president and as head of government, has the same responsibility as any leader anywhere to ensure that our social fabric is not torn asunder by the abuse of this new platform. And so we wish to assure you that even as we take steps to enforce law and order, even as we take steps to clearly define the boundaries of this sort of practice, we will not act in any way, shape, or form that undermines press freedom, that hinders press freedoms, and that curbs press freedoms. We are open to dialogue. We are open to engagement with the Media Journalists Association, at which meeting issues of concern to journalists were raised. About a month or two ago, he also held a media encounter where all shades of opinion within the media fraternity were represented. He opened himself up to scrutiny. Questions were directed at him, and to the best of his ability, he answered these questions. This is the mark of a leader who believes in transparency. So he continues to urge you to hold his feet to the fire of accountability. Subject him to scrutiny, even rigorous scrutiny, even harsh scrutiny. But please ensure that you do this within the boundaries of the law so that collectively we do not endanger our own security. Various media houses are hindered by financial and economic constraints. We do know that media practitioners complain often about poor remuneration and poor working conditions. Government will continue to partner media organizations to explore ways of improving these conditions. In recent times too, we've had challenges with assaults on media practitioners. There are sections of our society who continue to view the media as nosy and people who should not get close to their activities. And therefore, I want to abuse the rights of media practitioners. Thankfully, in more recent times, we've not heard of such reports. That is because firm instructions have been issued to all state security agencies to reform the way in which they relate to the media and to show a bit more courtesy than they are doing at the moment. President Mahama and the government that he leads is willing to work closely with the GJA to ensure that this unhealthy development is stemmed and that it does not recur, even as we make more progress to advance the frontiers of media freedoms. Our doors as government are open. As Minister for Government Communications, I remain open to engagements with you. I have a listening ear, I have an open door policy. You can walk in at any time to share a challenge or a contribution or a suggestion on how you believe that government can improve its relations with the media. Because after all, we are partners. Without you, whatever it is that we do in government will not be known to the public. And so you are an important ally in governance. And it is through your efforts that the people of Ghana know how the mandate and resources that they have entrusted to us are being utilized. I do not intend to take too much of your time, especially when the day is still young and there are many other assignments that many of you would have to move on to. I would, at this juncture, and with a few words that I have shared, declare the 29th GJA Awards duly launched. I also do know that I am required to inaugurate the committee that the GJA president announced so that they can immediately get up to the task of planning this event. Let me commend you for the innovation that you've introduced. It does appear that it will be more than just an awards night. It is going to be an experience, and government promises to be part of this experience. If for nothing at all, it will provide some variety in the way that this has done and inject greater excitement into these awards. So if I may invite the members of the planning committee upstage. Yeah. Okay, you can. Okay. Yes.
Before Honorable Minister inaugurates the committee, we are to inaugurate two committees. We have two different committees. So one is the awards committee, and the second one is the planning committee. That is the working of in the planning committee. This, we all know that Nigeria has their own rules, and it's important for us to have a working or a planning committee who will steer the affairs of this event. So the planning, the organization, and so they are here. So permit me to invite the planning committee members who are here to come forward so that you inaugurate them. After that, then we do that of the awards committee. So the planning committee for the 29th GJA Awards are, in fact, my very self and Mr. Prince Onyeneba Nana Kwekudia. We are the co-chairs. Nana. Yes. So also be part of the working committee. We have Mr. Emmanuel Safo, Deputy Head of Protocol, Menchia Palace. Unfortunately, he's not in our midst. Yes, but he's with us in spirit. He's actually not in town, not in the country. So, and we have our senior colleague, Mr. Kwame Dinkra, representing the journalists in Kumasi, and who will help us mobilize the people in Kumasi. He's also not here, but he's also with us. Mr. Kojo Sobo is an ex-official member and a consultant to the committee. Mr. Kojo Sobo is the founder and CEO of EMI Africa. Let's give it to him, Kojo. And our very own brother, Nathaniel Atto, also member of the. So the reason he decided to stand afar. He didn't want to come closer because he knows he's going to be called upon. Yeah. So, Honorable Minister, you do the inauguration.
All right. I believe that is a straightforward formality. So before I inaugurate you formally, I wish to congratulate you for agenda, but I think they are valid. So perhaps the GJA president may want to use his veto powers to amend the composition of the committee to reflect gender balance. Except, of course, you want government to interfere and impose feminine membership on this committee. I think it's only fair that we have 1 or 2 ladies join you.
I agree with you. Yeah. I have our former treasurer here. Come and join. Gender balance.
It is an impromptu appointment.
Yes, so my vice president will also join so that to make nice. Yes. Breaker Amasewa pay. So let's give them a round of applause. Yes.
I look forward to the day that all members of the committee will actually be women. That will be the day that we would have arrived. Yes. All right. Yes, but we men have dominated for a long time. So if women dominate, the image and credibility of the GJA rests on the sort of work that you do. And an excellent awards event will go a long way to boost your image. So your work is cut out for you. I trust that you bring various competencies to this particular endeavor, and therefore you will deliver it and charge you to do the work to the very best of your ability. Thank you very much. All right. So, all right. Last minute. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. So you may resume your seat here. So you have another. Okay. So let me invite the awards committee, which fortunately has gender representation, female representation, I should say. They have 3 women. That is fantastic. Mm-hmm. All right, thank you very much. Let me also indicate that the awards committee has a major role to play in preserving the traditions and integrity of this award ceremony. The work that you do to select who deserves what is extremely important, and the public will look out for fairness and objectivity and transparency in the way that you do your work. Fortunately, many of you are veteran journalists and you understand this industry inside out. You have the exact expertise required to ensure that worthy and credible winners emerge. I have no doubt at all that you will do a stellar job. So on that note, I wish to formally inaugurate you as members of the award. Thank you very much. I believe my job is done.
Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I believe that this interaction here this afternoon show has gone well because of the maximum participation and the positive attitudes that all of us have applied in every single stage. It is our hope that every single word that has been said here and every single task that has been bestowed will become a template for other award schemes in this country and will be a story that everyone would like to say a very big thank you to all of you for being a part of this. And there will be a lot of work and correspondence that will be done between now and the first weekend of November 2025 as we look forward to another big thank you and prayer to the good Lord, after which we'll take a big group photograph of our dignitaries and the two committees that have been launched. Respectfully, I would like all of us to rise once again. We'd like to say a very big thank you to Dr. Sribo and Mr. Suleiman Abrahima of the Media Foundation for West Africa for their support. We're very grateful to you. Thank you very much. And now shall we say some words of prayer in utmost humility to the unit and as a collective to execute the 29th edition of the GJA Awards. As we have always mentioned and acknowledged, you through all of the years, and it is you who has brought us to this point of milestone. As we go through the work and as we all sacrifice and burn the midnight oil, we pray that the eventual execution will be one that will be worthy of your name and of your handmaids. And we do know that the messages of advocacy would have been sent at the end of the day. We pray for every single person who's been here today. We thank you for their involvement. And we pray that based on this and based on showing solidarity, will give all of us good health and give all of us life so that we may always be able to come under this umbrella and say thank you to your name and also to promote your ideals on earth. We thank you and we bless your holy name. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. And now respectfully we would like to ask our dignitaries to come here to the stage, and we'll start off with the Can we now have the members of the planning committee join? Thank you very much. Committee members take their seats now. Thank you very much. Members of the awards committee, please take your seats. And now we'll have members of the planning committee. Finally, we'd like to have the GJA's executives, all executives of the GJA. Please come and join for a final photograph. Thank you very much. The music from the group Kwampa, would like to say a very big thank you to the Honorable Minister, to the Turkish Ambassador to Ghana, and of course to the CEO of KGL and the CEO of the Ashanti Green Initiative for gracing the occasion. We're grateful to all of you. Thank you all very much for being a part of this. And please remember that refreshments are served in the back corners of the hall. Thank you all very much.